Hey guys, JR Cook here from jradventure.org, and today I'm going to be talking about planning out your day using a little something that I call the Daily Hopper Planner. And what the Daily Hopper Planner is it's a series of questions that I go through every single day. I call it the Daily Hopper Planner just because, hey, that's what makes sense to me. So I go through these questions, and basically by the end of them I have a series of tasks that I need to get done during the day that will take me closer to my ultimate life vision. So basically what I do every morning, and I'll explain the Daily Hopper Planner a little bit more here, but I'll just talk about the process, because that's really what it is it's a process, and it's going to be slightly different for everyone. But for me, and I suggest everybody does this, is know what you want in life. So basically you find your purpose, and you find your purpose basically by asking yourself, what is it that you have that you can share with the world? What is it that you love to do? What is it that you feel fulfilled when you do it? Just look back on your life at any point in your life. Like, we've all had something that we've really enjoyed doing. For me, it was writing. It was writing and it was speaking. And I just love writing things that are going to inspire people. I love writing things that people just can emotionally charge people too. So I even like writing fiction, and I really like talking and inspiring people. And so those were two of the things that I just knew that I loved, and so those are the two pursuits that I'm taking in life. And so you define exactly what that is and how exactly you intend to deliver value to people through whatever it is that you choose to do. If you're a woodworker, like, how are you going to do that to the absolute best of your ability, and really fulfill whatever's going to make you feel fulfilled in life. I mean, you could be building houses, you could be an accountant, whatever it is for you. We all have different skills, we all have different things that we're good at, and I highly, highly suggest deciding to do what it is that you love with your life. Because I was just writing a chapter in a book, and it was on planning. That's why I'm making this video today. And I added a little something in there, and it was a article about a book that this hospice worker, she worked at hospice, she was a hospice nurse in Australia, and she wrote a book, and it was called, I don't want to get it wrong, but it was, I believe, The 5 Regrets of the Dying. And there were 5 regrets in there, but the one that really stuck out to me was, I wish that I would have just gone for it. I wish that I would have just done that thing that I always knew that I had in me. But what I think happens is people put it off. Well, I won't do that right now. I'll do that sometime in the future. Like, there's time, and you put it off. It's like, I'll do that after little Johnny goes to school, or I'll do that after this task that I have. But the problem is there's always another thing that comes up. And at some point when you're laying on your deathbed and you're thinking about your life and you're thinking about everybody, I've never been on my deathbed, obviously, but what I think must be going through your mind when I imagine myself there, like, a question that would come to me would be, what is everyone going to do without me? I've spent my whole life just giving it to anybody who just wants to take from me, and it's like, I never went for my dreams. And what are people going to do without me? Then you think about it and you realize that people are going to be just fine without you. They're going to have to be. And then you think, oh, wait a minute. If they're going to be fine without me now, would they have been? They would have been fine with me had I pursued my dreams as well. And so I highly, highly recommend getting yourself some goals, deciding what it is that you want in life, and heading that direction. Because otherwise, you're just drifting around in a sea, waiting for any storm to push you any which way, or any wind that blows, or anything to just divert your course to any direction. You're never going to find any happiness. Happiness isn't something that you just slip and trip over one day, and then you fall onto the ground of bliss. It doesn't happen. And so if you ever want to be happy, make sure you decide what it is that will make you happy and start working towards it every day. And that's where the daily hopper comes in. So what I do is, the first thing that I do is I read my definite life aim. And that is everything that I want. As far as what kind of family I want to build, as far as what kind of wife that I want to marry, as far as what kind of house I want to live in, as far as what kind of transportation do I want, as far as everything, and I'm very specific. And as far as my business, as far as like the books that I want to write, what are the criteria of them, and I want my publishing business to be loaded with books that are tremendously valuable, among the best in the world, and to deliver those books in a world-class fashion. So I'm clear on exactly what I want and how I want to deliver it, and so I know the standard. And so like I'm not tempted to get lazy, because if I want books full of kind of half-assed content and deliver it in a mediocre fashion, it's like my brain can't just come up and be like, oh, well, we can do it the easy way. It's like, it's kind of hard to do it the easy way if I want my publishing business to be loaded with books that are tremendously valuable and among the best in the world, and to deliver those books in a world-class fashion. You see, so it's being very clear, and the same thing with my house, the same thing with the woman that I want to marry, the same thing with my talks. I want to constantly get better, and when I come on these videos and I have one thing really, I always have a topic that I want to deliver on, but the real thing that I want to deliver on is I want to reach out and I want to pierce into your hearts and your minds and into your lives, and I want you to be a better person after watching this video. That's my goal. And so that's why I deliver to the absolute best of my ability. I can't deliver better than my ability, but I can deliver to the absolute best of my ability, and sometimes I make a better video than other times. The other day I wrote this long chapter, and I was just I was burnt out at the end of it, and I watched that video, I was just like, oh man, I just want to redo that video. But I did it to the absolute best of my ability, and so it's something that I can still be proud of, and I actually ended up publishing it. It was on Mastering Your Mind, and I might shoot that video again sometime though. But anyway, so I read my definite life aim and I get emotionally charged by it. By the time I'm done writing this, because I'm talking about how I want my kids to grow up and stuff, which is like the opposite of how I grew up, and it's like, I'm just, woo, this is what my life is, this is like what I'm working for right now, and I just get all pumped about it. And then after that, I go to what I call, it's my daily hopper builder. And it's a series of questions that I ask myself every day, and it's accumulation of an idea that I got from Tony Robbins, and there are these questions that you ask yourself to kind of set yourself up in a certain frame of mind. But what I did was I took that and I combined it with planning your day. And that way I have a series of questions that I answer, and by the end of it I know exactly what I want to do, what time I want to do it, and so they're going to be slightly different for everyone, but this is what I recommend. So you'll see some similarities if you follow, if you've been through any Tony Robbins courses or anything. But I start off with what are 3 things am I grateful for right now? And the reason for this, and it doesn't sound like most, I think, planning methods, but the reason that I like it is because it gets me in a good frame of mind. And so I answer the 3 things, why am I grateful for these 3 things, and what it does is it builds that emotion. And then I go on to what are 3 things that I'm excited about right now. And so I answer 3 things that I'm excited. And the reason why I did it in this series of steps is, 1, it makes me think about the present. What are things I'm thankful for about the present? And then it starts to push me into the future, because when I say what are 3 things that I'm excited about, you get excited about things that are going to happen, not things that are present, And so that's what, so then it puts me into a future frame of mind. And then I go down, what am I going to study today that will improve me and my capacity from the person that I am right now? You might want to rephrase that. That's just the way that I talk to myself. I'm a little bit complex in that way. But basically, what am I going to learn today that's going to make me have a higher capacity for giving tomorrow? Like, what do I want to learn today? You know, it's a easy way of saying that. And then how will that affect my life going forward? And so what this does is it gets me to start visualizing even more. So I had what are my things that I'm excited about, right? And that starts getting me thinking back, and it starts getting me visualizing these things as well. And it kind of makes them more real for me, and especially in my feelings. And when I answer why am I excited about it, man, I'm usually feeling pretty amped by the end of that. And I've just read my definite life aim, so I'm feeling good at this point, right? And the reason why I read the life aim before planning is because it tells me exactly which direction that I want to go. Because after I say what I want to learn, then my next question is, what are 5 things that if I achieve them today will take me closer to my ultimate life objectives? Not much room to fit, well, I think I'll just, browse around on Facebook. No. Browsing around on Facebook is fine, it's good, but you should probably be done with your day's work beforehand. But that's what I do, and so I answer those 5 things, and this would be different for everyone. In the book I'm writing on procrastination, I went onto this planning method in a little bit more detail, but some people might need more things than 5. I mean, if you're like a lawyer or something, you have a ton of different things to do. It's going to work a lot differently, and that's why I said these questions would be different for everyone. But anyway, and then I write them down, and then my follow-up question to that is, what time am I going to do them? And so what that does is it gets me to schedule it. I bust out my planner. Actually, I write it all down in a book. I just put, okay, this time, this time, this time, and this book is my planner. I answer my questions. I call it my, my personal power book, and I just answer these questions every single day, and it gets me to take action. And then I put down at the end, one of the things that I'm doing right now is, like, you can change these questions for different times of your life. Like, say if you're married or you have a special significant other, a great idea might be to add a question to this that says, what am I going to do today to show my significant other how much I love him or her in a new and special way, or in a new and playful way, or in a way, or what is one simple way that I can show, fill in the blank with the name, how much I love them in a new and exciting way, or something like that. And if you can come up with that every single day and just plan it, like some days you might not be able to follow through with it, but you'll be able to follow through with it enough times to imagine what that can do for your relationship in a year. Just imagine how much your lover will love you more, But anyway, and they'll start doing nice things to you back. It's amazing, law of attraction, right? So anyway, so this question that is pertinent for me right now is, what are 3 new ideas on how to make more money? I put in parentheses, new opportunities or adding more value using previous mechanisms. And then I put, do these make sense? If they do, then what action can I take in that direction today? And a lot of times I'll just come up with ideas that are like not even that good. It's just a mental exercise, because what it does is it opens up my mind to look for opportunities. It's not just right here that I'm going to come up with the idea. It's throughout the day. As I'm going throughout my day, I'm like, oh man, my mind's tuned to thinking about that because I asked that question this morning. I see that opportunity, and so those are my questions. And at the end of it, I have my set of 5 achievements that I want to achieve that day, and it works really well for me. I mean, I'm a creative person, and so it works for my lifestyle. Different people have different lifestyles, and I would change the questions based upon that. But definitely try this out. One more thing that I wanted to add is if you have a project that you want to take care of, because oftentimes I have a big project, whether it be a book or whether it be anything else, like whether it be going and traveling around for a couple of months doing a project or something, I recommend getting out a sheet of paper. At the top of the paper, write what it is that you want to achieve. Like, just come up with some title, right? This is just how I outline my books as well, but it works just as good with reality. And you just write the title of what it is that you want to do. Like, say, idea, well, I'll just say it's, I don't know, say we're going to China to do something. Going to China, right, at the top. And then underneath, what is it that you want to achieve with this project? Maybe you're building a house, right? So you're building my dream home. You know, underneath it, what is it that you want to achieve? Because if you get clear on it, then your mind's going to be set to that with the rest of all the details that you're about to fill in. And so I want to build the most incredible, I want to build the house of my dreams with, you know, that will be filled with love, is spacious, feels great, the energy's great in there, and is the more specific the better, because you don't want to be vague with something as important as building a house. Or to me, you don't want to be vague with anything, because to me, I believe in doing the absolute best that I can do with every single thing that I attempt. Because why do something second rate? If you're going to do it anyway, you might as well do it to the absolute best of your ability, right? So if I were building a house, I just put, I put exactly what I want at the top, and I would put, and have a great time while I'm doing it, and then underneath it, say, building a house. I don't know how long you want to take to build your house. 6 to 12 months, I would say. 6 would be blasting through it, but it's your house, your project, whatever. So I would break it down. I'm like, okay, what all goes into building a house? I'm like, okay, well, I need to find a plot of land. I need to pour a foundation. I need to do all the different steps of a house, building a house, and then write a timeline down. Write a timeline down. Put it on your calendar. I use Google Calendar for everything that I do, that I need to remember, that are long-term, project-based, because I realize this is like a day-by-day sort of thing, and it doesn't really work on a weekly basis. I might eventually start doing like a weekly hopper planner as well, a weekly hopper builder, but I haven't done that yet. So, but I would suggest subscribe to my channel and you'll get the weekly hopper builder when it's out. But right now, this is exactly the process that I do, and it works really well. It just goes on my calendar. I go through it, and I just establish timelines for these different areas of the project. And then every single day before I do my daily hopper builder, I know exactly what's got to get done, and so that's going to be one of the things that goes on my 5. Or I don't limit myself to 5. Sometimes I come up with 10 or 15 because it's just going to be a really busy day. I have a lot of things to do, so you're not limited. But I come up with at least 5. And so that's what I do, and so that's how you can manage a project under this strategy. And I'll be building it more as time goes on, but it's been what I've done now for a while, and I've actually just kind of developed it a little bit further as I've been writing this book, and came up with something that's practical and useful is in terms of sharing it with other people. And so I wanted to come on here and share it with you, basically. But other than that, I highly suggest that you subscribe to my channel if you want to find out how to live a life of purpose, because that's what I'm all about. I really believe in finding what it is that the creator of the universe created you for, created us for, because I think that we all have like this infinite potential, and we are all gifted in different ways. And we're gifted in those ways for a reason. And that reason is to completely fulfill our purpose. The reason for our gifts is to use them to be a blessing in the lives of everyone else. Because we all have these different gifts, and if we all just work together, imagine how far it can take humanity. You know, I think one of the saddest things is someone living a life without purpose. Because they're the people who are sad, they're the people singing "Thank God It's Friday" every Friday, they're the people who don't like their work, they're the people that hate their boss or whatever, they're the people that are really negative-minded individuals. And I love them, but I wish that they would just see that they are good enough to live their dreams. See, my problem for so long was that I felt like I was a second-rate citizen. I grew up completely financially broke in such a negative environment. I remember my dad teaching me the virtues of shoplifting for saving money, and it just was not a very good environment for raising a wholesome, quality individual. And so I grew up, I wasn't a quality individual, not gonna lie. I was a little criminal. I was a punk. And so I've been there. I know what it's like to not have a purpose. I know what it's like to not be living your dreams. I know what it's like to not be the guy here talking to a camera, sharing what it is that I have within me, that can hopefully be of some sort of value in your life. And I just want to tell you that you are good enough. It took until I realized that myself, that I am good enough, before I actually started taking the actions that were going to take me in the direction of my dreams. And so, remember that you're good enough. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Write it down what you want. Write down your own definite life aim. Start reading it every morning before you do your daily hopper builder. And you'll be on your way to living your dreams as well. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you leave me a comment below. Share this if you got some sort of value, or if you know any friends that you think might benefit from something like this. And go to jradventure.org. Check out my website. I have this book coming out on ending procrastination in your life. As soon as it's out, I'll add the link below. Probably be another month or two. But until next time, live your life with purpose.